the comic room, and hopefully there'll be a few people out there in YouTube comic book land that will join me. It's an impromptu. I've had the gambit of emotions today, ups and downs, and all kinds of crazy stuff, which I might end up talking about a little bit, but just a truly insane day. And I wanted to unbox something. So there's a little couple of hints in the background of what's in here. But I think in the description, I mentioned that we're going to talk about eBay and risk and reward and all kinds of other things. So potentially we'll get to a lot of stuff. I don't know how long I'm going to be on today. Probably not a really long time, but I really appreciate anyone who does join or who watches this later. I've had a lot of comments on the last video from a couple days ago that I haven't even gotten a chance to go back in and comment on, or I don't think I even thumbs up them, but I really appreciate it. So if you want to leave me comments, please do that, and I really am going to make an effort to respond back to each and every one of those. So, hey, look at this. We've got Linkovich in here. Always love seeing you, Linkovich. Thank you. Bubs Comics. Great seeing you. Bubs was supposed to be here about a year ago, just when the whole COVID thing was happening. He was going to come visit me, and we're going to go to Fantasticon with another group of cool guys. And who knows, maybe 2021's our year, Bubs. That would be awesome. Man Cave Comics, great to see you. James Higgins, what's up, my man? In the middle of a run, that's beautiful. Yeah, hey, I got out for a little run today myself. 30 degrees here. Hopefully you're running fast if it's that cold, but probably a little bit warmer for you. That would be terrific. Way to go, James. Gorilla Todd in here. Thanks for the shout out in your recent stream. Oh, my pleasure, Gorilla Todd. Gorilla Todd and Bubs were two of the winners from my 100-200 subscriber contest a few years ago I did. So love seeing you guys. Brett Bomley, how are you? Nice to see you, my friend. And so good. So yeah, Bubs is going to come. We're going to have a date and we're going to drink some Bud Lights. But tonight, as luck would have it, like I said, I went for a little run today, so I'm having an orange juice. I've been making a conservative effort to get more vitamin C and to be a little healthier. And orange juice, when you buy it from Costco like this, probably isn't the healthiest thing, but I'm still trying, right? So that's what I'm drinking today. But Bubs, you get here, it's Bud Lights all around, right? So that'll be terrific. So let's get right to it. eBay. For years, I have prided myself on being a pretty good eBay buyer. I hunt things down like a lot of you guys do. People in this community, we figure out right away that there's two ways to live in this community. One way is to go out and pay retail, and the other way is to try to snipe some auctions. Get in there, and I've always said eBay is kind of like the wild, wild west, right? I've bought things on eBay that were really, really underpriced. I never feel bad because I know if I don't buy them, then there's 100 of you guys right behind me that are going to buy them. And that's just how it is. So, hey, Jambo, nice to see you, my friend. And we got Musings in here. How you doing, Bill? So I go on eBay, and what happened to me during COVID is I decided during all the lockdowns that I'm going to really focus on some things that are a little out of the ordinary. And one of those is going to be the Marvel mini books. Okay, and I talked about these the other day. This is actually a gift that was sent to me. Big shout out and thank you to Jay Boxer, who saw this. He knew I love this stuff. And you could probably buy this on Amazon or somewhere else, but it's a little collection. So you get the 6 books, which are reprints, and then you get a mini history of this series, all in a nice box. And I like it so much I haven't even opened it. But that's what you would do back in the day, is you'd put a nickel in the machine, the little bubble right there would pop out and you'd get your mini comic. And so that's one of the focuses I've been working on. And oh, I see Lego Builders in here. Crown Jewel, my Spider-Man comic book wall, are Web of Spider-Man 1 and The Amazing Spider-Man 252 and Amazing Spider-Man 300. Beautiful books for a wall like that. Hey, speaking of Spider-Man, hey, the Admiral's in here. How you doing? Who's your nerd? Nice to see you. My son is a video game guy, and he gets this Game Informer in the mail. And a few months ago, I stole this because he sleeps in. He stays up late and he games. And this showed up in our mailbox, and I thought it was so cool. I just sniped it right out of the mailbox for free. So I'm gonna put that in a bag and a board. But I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know if it's worth anything, but maybe Lego Builder, something like that. You know, there's all this weird stuff out there, and you never know what's gonna be worth something someday. So that's a little tip. Maybe look for the Game Informer. I don't even know what month this is. Probably November or December, something like that. Anyway, so back to my story. So I get online and I hunt these things down, and sometimes I can get great deals on them. Hey, Randall's in here. Hi from Perrysburg. Randall, wait a minute. I'm Perrysburg, so that's funny. So maybe I knew that you're from Perrysburg, but Randall, let's get together. If you are local, then I want to get together. Maybe we have got together. I'm going to blame my medication and very poor memory. The name is familiar, and maybe we've talked about, maybe we've even gotten together. I am going to give you my email. That's the best way to get in touch with me, which apparently I don't even have anymore. So it's Silver Aged Dave, no hyphen, silveragedave@gmail.com. If you send me an email, then we'll be maybe sharing some Bud Lights and talking comics in person. So very good. So anyway, so I've been hunting these things down for quite a while. I am nowhere near completion. I have a couple of the series completed, and every now and then I'll find them. I'm one book away from Amazing Spider-Man, which is a real tough one. I've got 5 of the 6. I'm missing the orange one, and these are all mint condition, unopened, beautiful. So so we have those, and I've got a bunch of other ones, but I'll buy these now and then. Like this set I bought from a guy, and I'll buy them if there's a good deal. But I've shared before that that there are some variants in these, and I'll, for reference, show the 3 that I've picked up over time, and you pay a pretty penny for these. These were, I believe, 1 in 1,000 was the print run on them. So that's a model Millie. Okay, and I don't know how well that shows up. Let me get it over here. That's model Millie. It's kind of like a hallucinogenic cover, and that's the back cover. A little different design on it. And I picked that one up quite a while ago. That set me back a long way. And then I bought a group of variants from a guy that included these 2. Now, most of the other variants were not really comic related. Hey, we've got C3 Comics in here, and we've got Mike R201. Nice to see you, Mike. And C3, thank you for joining us. So these I picked up quite a while ago, and this was a time I didn't even know really that the variants existed. They were kind of off my radar. And so this is a blue, and then this one over here is green. Similar covers on them, and then the back is similar. It's got kind of like little, I don't know, it looks like little amoebas or something. Maybe splitting amoebas. I don't know what these are called. But what's strange about this, and I've talked to, you know, so-called experts all over the place about these, there's really no information. So we don't know really what the print run was on these, and we don't know how many different covers there were. Was there just, you know, like this Sergeant Fury, there were 2 different covers. So we don't really know. So it's a tough thing to track down, because even in talks I've had with Alan Garrett, and I've talked to Metarog about it, and some super knowledgeable guys, there's just really not a lot of history on this stuff. So I'm kind of hunting white elephants here, and you really don't know how many are out there or what's out there. So what happens though is every now and then you come across something. So here's what happened to me. Maybe a month ago, a set of 3 variants popped up on eBay, and it was real late at night. We were going through some personal life struggles, and I knew the auction was ending. It was like a 7-day auction or a 14-day auction. It was like just a ridiculous one. No one's bidding on it. And I thought, oh, okay, I'll come in and snipe it. Maybe there was one bid. And so I waited, and like everyone does, we sit there and we're watching eBay right at the end. Hey, Biggie Shack is here. Nice to see you, Biggie Shack, another fellow Buckeye. So we're watching the countdown. I got my timer set for like the 2-minute warning, so I don't, sleep through it. And it ended like real late, like 2 in the morning, something crazy. So I'm watching. I'm like, oh, this will be an easy one. And the clock's ticking down, 4, 3, 2. And generally with like 2 seconds left, that's the gold mine. That's where I want to jump in there and throw my bid in. And hopefully I want it better than someone else wants it, and win the auction. So then what happens is I hit go, bid, the amount, put it in there, send. eBay didn't take it. It like something happened, like the internet was funky and the bid didn't go in, which, slap on the wrist lesson for silver, sometimes it's just not good. You wait till 2 seconds left in the auction and it's a land of no return. If you miss it, you miss it. And so I missed it. So I was like, oh, this is terrible. And I reached out to the guy. I said, hey, do you have any more? Now I'm going to try to, work out a personal thing. And as luck would have it, he did have a few more. So this is the high risk zone. Hey, Southern Comic Geek is in here. Nice to see you. It has been a long time. I haven't been around a long time, though. We got Avery Kelly in here. Hopefully I'm not missing anyone. Hey, Bad Avenger's in here. Stand up, everybody. Join me for a little applause. Anytime Bad Avenger enters the room, I am standing ovation guy. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. So I missed out on the auction on 3 of these things, which I did not have. They were all variants like these. And I reached out to the guy, and he said he had more. And long story short, last week, I think maybe Monday night, after some negotiations, we settled on a big number. And it's, probably the most money I've ever sent someone. It was cash through PayPal, friends and family, and I sent a bunch of money. And I was, this whole past week, I was, at times sick to my stomach, like, what if? And for guys that are newer, hey, we've got Alexander in here. Looks like a warning to the community. So thanks for that, Alexander. A little update. So I sent through all this money, and we set on shipping. And trust me, I had conversations with this guy. He is, just like us, just a nice guy. He's a few years older than me, but he was in there when all this stuff was releasing, and this is his personal collection. So, as luck would have it, we all know the U.S. Postal Service is moving so slow. And so what was supposed to get here last week, priority, got delayed, but today it showed up. And I was so worried. As soon as I had this box in my hand, I cut it, opened it, and I know what's in there. So the good news is, this is, thank you, Bubs. Appreciate that. Alexander, we try to run this as a clean, family friendly. So positive, anything good you have to say, please add that in as a comment. Anything negative or takeaway, we'll not play in that realm. So so then what happens is I open it up and the stuff's in here. So I'm going to share with you guys some pretty special and unique things right now that I potentially will go the rest of my comic career and not come across something like this. So a couple of these books were purchased off eBay, and a couple of these books were purchased just privately, just pure cash. And as I was saying earlier, for people that were playing on early eBay, that's how it was. You would buy things on eBay and you would mail people a check. It was really, talk about the Wild West. Hey, we got Dr. Von Chilla in here. He's getting ready to go to bed. Well, Dr. Von Chilla, I am a huge, huge fan, and I so appreciate you stopping in. I'm doing an unboxing. Maybe you remember these Marvel mini comics from 1966. Well, I came across a treasure trove of the variants, which were 1 in 1,000s, and these things were in nickel and dime gumball machines in bowling alleys. So very, very rare to find these things in unread condition. But this guy had a whole bunch of them, and I missed out on a few, but then it worked out where I was able to score quite a few. So hey, we've got Luther Manning's in here. Nice to see you, Patrick. Another big fan of your channel. I'm drinking Tropicana tonight, my man. I got a cool drink waiting for me later, but until then, I've got this Tropicana. So here's what my day looked like, and I'll show you a couple of these things. I woke up this morning, and I had to drive 3 of my kids to school. They go to a Catholic school right here, right nearby, like 4 miles from home. And I got there, and I drive, a lot of you have seen my big green van. It's a Chevy 12-seater Chevy Express van, and I love it. Sometimes it's my indoor pickup truck. It's my people mover. My buddies have benefited for years. When we get sports tickets, we all load in there. We've driven up to Detroit for Red Wings games. We've been out to Cleveland Indian games. We've been all over the place in this van. The Little League baseball teams love it. The basketball teams, anytime you got to go for ice cream, class trips to the planetarium, all kinds of stuff. But for me, that's my home base. Some guys have a sports car when they turn 50. I got a big green van, and I love it. Well, leaving the school this morning, 4 miles from home, I get the overheat check engine, shutting down power, all these warnings come on. I'm like, what the what? Well, I'll show a couple of these variants while I'm telling this story. So I stopped 3 times on the way home. This is a Captain America unopened. Okay, and these are going to go into my proprietary cases that I custom make. Let me grab, I got one right here. Some people keep these in these coin holders, which I did with the model Millie. I just never wanted to pull her out of there. And then what I developed where I use these coin cases I buy at Hobby Lobby, and I custom cut down a coin holder so it fits inside, so it's double protected in there. And that's what's going to happen with all these books. But until then, I'm just holding them with my fingers, so hopefully I don't bend them or drop them. So anyway, so I get the check engine lights on, and I had one day planned, but all of a sudden my day changed. So I got it into my place, and they said, okay, Dave, do you want us to get into it? I said, yep, get into it. And they gave me 3 numbers. They said it could be $1,100 if it's simple stuff. It could be you need a new head gasket. And for that size van, they're talking $3,000 to $4,500 time they do everything they need to do, which I'm losing my mind. And they said if you need a new engine, it's going to be somewhere around $7,000 to $8,000 for a used engine, $12,000 for a new engine. So needless to say, that was bad. The good news is I got a call just about an hour ago. They were able to do everything for $1,100. The head gasket's fine, so I'll have that van for a lot longer. Shortly after that, I found out these arrived. So my day went from really, really bad to really, really good. It worked out. And I did say some prayers in there. I did go for a run today. And I was thinking about how this is going to work out for me. I'm going to try to catch up on the chat. I got off on my car story. Art Chemist is in here. Nice to see you, buddy. Truly great channel, great talent. Art Chemist. We've got Mr. Garrel. Always been a fan of Mr. Garrel. We got Matt in here. Great to see you, Matt. How about this? Look at all these great people in here. We got, it says 31 people. I don't know if I trust it, but that's a lot of people. I really appreciate Avery. Put those in a safe 4 miles in the ground. You don't come across these. So that's a Captain America. It's a 1 in 1,000 variant in the blue color. Then we've got a Sergeant Fury, which I didn't even know about. I'm going to call it red, but it could be orange, I guess. Okay, and I showed the two Sergeant Furies back here, and I thought this was it. I didn't think there were any other Sergeant Furies. So there's an extra Sergeant Fury in a different color, which leads me to believe, are there 6 variant colors? This is a rabbit hole. It really is kind of crazy for silver right now because these things are not cheap and they don't come along too often. So if you do happen to see some, I did get, this is now, you know, I like multiples, but this is ridiculous. I've got a multiple now on the blue Millie. I don't know which one's nicer, but they're both unread. So we've moved up to 2 of those. And then the last one in this particular holder is a blue Hulk. Very rare. I've not seen the blue Hulk before, so that's a pretty rare one. Oh, Art Chemist. That is a 2010 Chevy Express 12-seater van. It's in hunter green, and I bought it used with 24,000 miles on it, and it was a General Motors executive vehicle. It took the executives from GM in Detroit, I think Detroit, to the airport in Detroit. And that's really all it was used for, was commuting executives around. And I bought it a long time ago. I've got 6 kids, and that's just the kind of car you need when it's a big family. So yeah, so $1,100 I put in today, but hopefully I'll get, you know, lots and lots of life out of it still. So that's good. Let's see. It's good to sit back and watch your stream, says Lego Builder. Thank you so much. Lego Builder, if you guys get a chance, sub up. Great person, great channel, big Spider-Man fan. Time to sell some of those Edge of Spider-Verse. Matt, no kidding. My Super Gwen, Spider-Gwen, here's Super Gwen right here. This is her artwork picture from 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Fantastic Con. My good buddy Scoop McMahon, he's a comic book artist. He did that for her, and it's a stunning likeness. So I thought for sure she's going to do Spider-Gwen, but she was watching the Supergirl series, so Super Gwen. Well, anyway, she's looking at colleges right now, and I told her, I said, Gwen, you will always have the 1 in 25. You'll always have the, you know, that Stan Lee sign, that's yours. And you'll always have one Edge of Spider-Verse, it's a 9.8. But I might have to sell. I'm up to an even 20. I have 20 of them things. And, yeah, I don't want to sell them. We'll see. But, yeah, you know what? When you got to come up with money, you got to come up with money. Yeah, I call that a close call, certainly, Mr. Garrel. And we got Kevin R in here. Yeah, hey, how you doing? NC Slapjacks, how you doing, my friend? Thank you so much. Man, I'm falling behind. Yeah, you could keep this all right where you keep your shivs. Absolutely. So this is going to be the next bag. Let me open these up. And this is really, really exciting stuff for me. Again, just to find these and then mail a dude a lot of money and then get them is remarkable. Now, as a lot of you know, I've been to crack houses for comics. I've been to lots of sketchy things in situations, and I've probably, if I get that call again, I would probably go again. But I don't think I'll do something like this again. As soon as I hit send or whatever you hit on PayPal, as soon as I did that, I felt a little sick. Like, I just don't know. I don't know. But they arrived. So my faith in humanity is restored. Dr. Von Chilla shaved his beard off. Oh, my goodness. So much aging was going on under there. That's funny. It's like you're a whole new guy. Well, good for you, Dr. Von Chilla. Going with the clean look. Let me see what I'm missing here. Let me scroll through here. Have you used Comic Skin? I don't think I have. Hey, JLS is in here. Nice to see ya. What a great channel. JLS does the absolute greatest job if you want the history, really, of any character, but especially heavily focused on G.I. Joe characters. Man, they're so in-depth and interesting. Beautiful channel. If you're not sub, please sub each other up. There's a lot of comic content creators in this place right now. Yeah, the beer's coming soon, Kevin R. It's not too far behind, but I went for a run. I did a half marathon this afternoon, and I'm just a little dehydrated. So I'm trying. Beer tastes really good, but it doesn't help you with the hydration. So I'm trying to get my blood levels back as I take a big sip of orange juice. Hey, who that's in here too? Look at this. This is like a who's who of the comic community tonight. Crack House comics are common in Ohio. You got that right, Biggs. That's funny. So let me show this second bag, and then I've got one bag left. So this one, as luck would have it, and I kind of had to buy these as a set to be able to negotiate the price. But I have now multiples on the Sergeant Fury, which I just showed, right? I have multiples now, if those are the same. I didn't look closely, but yeah, those are the same. So another blue and another green, minty, mint. So at some point, I'll probably be offering my multiples for sale out of here. Then, this is really the thing that I wanted out of this set. This is the Mighty Thor, okay, and that's the blue variant, and you can tell they're unopened. This is a kind of a wax seal. Once you open, the whole book flops, and usually this binding falls apart. But that's how you can tell they're unopened. So we've got the Mighty Thor. That's the blue. Then we've got the Mighty Thor in green. Okay, unopened. And these are, for people not familiar with them, they are actually comic books. The world's smallest comic books, 52 pages, and there are stories in them. And then this is the real highlight of this group was the, we'll call it the red Thor, but it's probably a little orange. So we've got the Thor there. So we got a set of 3 Thors that I did not even have or know about. I've never seen them before. So that was pretty exciting. I was just going to show something. Oh, I was going to show, I keep a Captain America comic right here. That this one is a trashed copy. Okay, so when friends come to visit, Kevin R. or Bubs or so many other guys, when people come to visit and want to hang out, I know what they want to do is they want to look at the Marvel Value Stamp book and they want to, maybe read a mini comic. So I have a couple of these trashed ones, but once you open them up, that's what you have, is you have a story and you have some artwork, and they are all unique original stories, okay, that exist in these. And this gift that J Boxer bought me, we'll just put that down over here, is so beautiful that I didn't open it. So I might have to get another one so I can open it. But I really appreciate that. And you can read them on here, but you can also read them online. You can go online, and there's someone who put them all in there. These are just nuts. How much are they? Well, the variants just don't come up too often. I got a great deal on these because I spent so much money, but hypothetically, could be in the hundreds of dollars for one. I've paid really, really high numbers for one. Like this model Millie, I want to say I paid, I don't remember. I don't want to throw you off, but in my mind, I'm saying 300, but it could have been in the 250 range. It's hard to say what they go for. And ultimately, like anything else on eBay, it's what someone's willing to pay. This particular case, what happened was the person had them, didn't really know anything about them, just threw them out there on eBay, and it really poorly marketed, poor auction and ending time. So there weren't really, I don't think, a lot of people that knew about them or saw them, and they're pretty rare. Like I say, there's not much in the history of them that's actually factual. All right, so now we're off to the last couple of pockets here. And these are cool little wallets. I actually have little wallets like this I used to run with when I would run ultra marathons. And I'd put pills in them, like salt tablets and electrolyte tablets, because they'd keep everything pretty dry. So this one's kind of cool. This is a model Millie, which I showed off. There was a blue. Well, there's the green one, which I did not have before. Some people want to visit the pyramids or the Sphinx. I want to see Silver Age Dave. Hey, if anyone gets to Northwest Ohio, you are certainly invited. I am so convenient. I'm close to the Ohio Turnpike, like within a couple miles. And so if you're traveling through northern Ohio, southern Michigan, I'm like an hour from Detroit. I'm 3.5 hours from Chicago, hour from Cleveland, couple hours from Columbus. So there's always an open invitation. So here's another copy of the mighty Thor, and this one was opened, so it's less than perfect. You can see how the wax line there has a little bit of stress to it. So that's okay. You know, when you negotiate a big purchase like this, you just take the good with the bad is how it works. And thank you, C3. Just open it, Dave Ward. You're right, Dr. Von Chilla, but gosh, I just don't know. I might open it at some point. But the thing is, I've already read them all online, and I have a couple of them that I've read here, and it's just so pretty. Look at it. But this history of the mini books is probably interesting. And actually, these Sergeant Furies, these two books are actually featured in here. In this mini history. The guy I bought these from maybe 3 years ago now, he submitted those two to be part of this book. So those two are actually pictured in that book, and he's got a write-up in there that he did what he knew about the history. But it's pretty obscure stuff. Okay, so we're coming down to the last two books, and okay, so what we have is we have another copy of the mighty Thor. This is the orange or red, and it's beautiful. All right, Dr. Von Chilla, here's how much I think of you, my friend. I'm opening it. I'm going with the Dr. Von Chilla. He says to open it. Guys, you won't see this too often, and there's a lot of stuff in this room that's unopened because I can't get the courage up to break the seal on it. But Dr. Von Chilla, I'm doing this for you, my friend. One of the best guys. Dr. Von Chilla has been around the community much longer than I've been, and just a great part of the community, great character, and really appreciate you. So Dr. Von Chilla, this one's for you. I'm going to try to open these without actually destroying them. But here we go. I am not going to use the patented saying that Dr. Von Chilla uses when he's taking a book out of the sleeve. I'm not using that. I think it is best used when Dr. Von Chilla says it. So I am gonna remove it though from the plastic, And here we go. This is something you really don't see on Silver Age Dave channel. This does not happen very often, but we're doing it, guys. So here we go. Let's start. I'm going to show you the last book, and then we're going to open up that set. Again, thanks to J-Boxer, who made that possible, and thanks to Dr. Mochilla, who made it possible for me to actually get into it. Dr. Mochilla, as luck would have it, my Pennsylvania race last year in October got canceled, and it's deferred to this October. So I'm hoping to get out to Pennsylvania this summer, but kind of got to wait and see what happens. All right. Well said, Dr. Mochilla. So the last book in here, I showed earlier a Minty Mint Captain America Blue. Well, there's a Minty Mint Captain America in red or orange. Again, I don't know what to call it. And based on my findings right now, based on this treasure trove of variants, I only have blue and green, and I'm going to call it red or orange. So potentially, that's all that exists in variant colors. I think if there was a yellow or a lime green, those are the original 6 colors that Marvel used right there. Was green, blue, red, lime green, yellow, and orange. I think if they had 6 variant covers, I would have at least one that's not red, blue, or green. So that might be it. And now I have to go through and make my spreadsheet and make sure I'm, collecting it, going after them. So we'll see what happens. So let's take a look. This one is Captain America. And we're not going to read all through these, but I'm going to stop talking while we open it. It's a little crickly. Okay. And they have kind of to mimic the red thing. It's just a little red color on the page, but this is literally what you get. And you get this comic book, and it's beautiful. Look at that. I do want to highlight the Spider-Man book because I think that is the magic one, and I can't wait to share that one with you guys. So that's the Captain America happy ending. And good. So there's Captain America. Boy, we didn't expect to see these, did we, guys? All right. So, hey, Slim Comics is in here. Nice to see you. Thank you. I am going to go to the Amazing Spider-Man. Well, this is the Thor right there, which is beautiful. Then we have Amazing Spider-Man. And I have a hunch that this was one of the earliest crossovers between DC and Marvel. So these came out in 1966, okay? And the Spider-Man story is really, really interesting. It gives a little bit of the background on Spider-Man being your friend, right? But he's got strength. It tells about him as a character, all this. And again, I've read this. So then, as you get to the back of the book, talks about how he uses his powers to get to catch bad guys, and there he is. He's checking in on some crooks that were robbing somebody. Okay, they were counting loot from a robbery. Spider-Man subdued them, and he wrapped the jewels in some webbing, and off he went. But the bundle got caught on a flagpole, and here's where I think we have the crossover. Along came this fellow in a cape, another superhero, and he saw the loot. So who do we think that is? I think that's Superman. That's who I think that is. And he swooped down, grabbed the bundle, and didn't even say hi. And we know there were early crossovers that happened between DC and Marvel. I don't know what the first one was, but I think potentially that's the earliest one. And so I'm really excited. Right now I'm on the hunt for an orange Amazing Spider-Man. And they're out there. The Amazing Spider-Man are the most expensive. These generally you're going to pay over $100 for if they're in good condition. And so I need one more to complete my Spider-Man run, and then I'll be good to go there. So that's the Spider-Man. And then Then we have the Sergeant Nick Fury, beautiful. We've got the Incredible Hulk, and then we've got Millie the Model, who I always shout out Alan Garrett from After Comics anytime I'm talking about the lady comics or the love romancy stuff. I always shout out Alan Garrett because he's got a great collection of that stuff that he always used to joke he was buying it for his sister. So we have those. So I'm going to move this to the back here. Let's line these up, and let's get to the one book in here that I'm really, really excited to open and share. We're going to put Hulk right there in front. So this is the history, which I haven't read this. I haven't seen this online. Let me move this guy out of here. And let's move these guys so we actually see what we unboxed. Maybe these are in the frame. I don't know. And then we're going to look at that history book. Thank you so much. Everyone who's chatting it up and being friends on YouTube comic community and supporting me and each other. Really, really appreciate you. Okay, so look at all those beautiful variants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. For those of you counting along at home, that 13 in one haul. Very, very rare stuff. So we have the last one, which is Marvel Comics mini books, a mini history. And so it's, of course, you got these out of gumball machines. And Alan Garrett actually has a gumball machine that's beautiful. It was redone, but beautiful. And that's in his comic room. So if you're not subscribed to AFTA, then please subscribe to AFTA Comics. Great channel. And one of the greatest collections I know of, between Alan Garrett and Captain Strangelove certainly is going to rank up there. Probably if I had, someone said earlier, I want to go to Silver Age Dave land. Well, I want to go to Captain Strangelove land because that guy, he just pulls boxes out and he's got stuff from the 30s and 40s and 50s, and he's got like multiples of everything. Just incredible. So there's always something we want to see. I would love to see that one, but great channel, great guy. Okay, so I'm not going to read this whole thing to you guys. Fun fact, in April of '66, Marvel issued 14 regular-sized comics. Amazing Spider-Man number 35, Avengers 27, Daredevil 15, Fantastic Four 49, Fantasy Masterpieces 2, Millie the Model 136, Modeling with Millie 46, Rawhide Kid 51, Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos 29, Strange Tales number 143, Tales of Suspense 76, Tales to Astonish 78, Thor 127, which is a great issue, and X-Men number 19. And one reprint, which is Marvel Collector's Item Classics number 2. So you could have purchased all those comics that month for $1.93. That's crazy. That's crazy when we look back at it that way. So I'm so excited to read this. Thank you, Dr. Roncilla, for telling me to open this. Sincere thanks, you say. Well, hey, this is really cool. So in addition to the superhero books, they also did these, which, again, I was a bowling alley kid. My mom bowled. I'm Polish. So, there's bowling in our history. So, those are things that you could get. And I think Stan Lee tied in and said, yeah, I think we could do those. And those are all joke books. And I've got a bunch of them. I've actually got variants in some of those. But it talks about how Stan Lee tied in and decided. Oh, how cool. So it says, maybe it's the model Millie that, yeah, you know what? It's the model Millie I bought from the guy I said is featured in here. So as was the custom with these mini books, each title came with multiple variations. The interiors did not change, but the front and back covers were printed on 6 different colors of slightly glossy paper: blue, yellow, red, orange, deep green, and lime green. There are a few other scarce variations, pattern of dots or wavy lines, which might have been printing errors although multiple copies of each version exist, but the interiors were identical. Each mini book contained 50 black and white pages plus a front and back cover, and are about 1/8 of an inch thick. So, again, oh, it says they didn't hold together real well. The spines would crack. The books would fall apart, which literally, like this test one I have, as soon as you open them, they fall to pieces. So that is absolutely true stuff. And, oh, we got Alex Comic Order in here. Nice to see you, Alex. Alex is a haul machine lately. It's just a pleasure having all you great guys in here. So much. I really appreciate everyone spending time. So this is the picture of the whole set of availability. It was 6 books in 6 different colors. So that's what you would think when you complete the whole run of something. You think that's it. But then you have the variants. And so very exciting. And what's neat about it is I hope that it talks about, yeah, and these came in like the little bubbles, so they got beaten up a little bit, you know, on delivery. You put your dime in there, and then the book would get beat up when it was bouncing out of the machine. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm so excited. So what I'm going to do, rather than have you guys sit here, is I am going to go through, I'm going to read this, and then I'll report back if there's some cool stuff that I find out. Yeah, and they've got all the history of all the different mini book titles that were available. Let's see. Yeah, many people, including my editor, told me that the Marvel mini books are identified in the famed Guinness Book of World Record as the smallest comic books ever published. Ooh, turns out they were not. Well, there's new information. So it looks like there's something that was sold in the Netherlands in 1999, and it was 1 inch by 1.4 inches. So it's actually larger than the Marvel mini books, but it does have panels and word balloons, whereas the Marvel mini books are idiosyncratic. Well, I don't know. Sounds like maybe the Marvel books are smaller. Oh, so they have to correct the injustice. That's what they're saying. Yes. Okay. Well, guys, oh, hey, I didn't even know about this. This makes sense. So there's a penny, and there's the mini book. But this is cool. They have the mini books reprinted. So, so this is really, really neat. So this is the Captain America. Okay, so that's the whole book laid out right there. I wonder if they have one for each. Yeah, so there's the Thor. That's cool. So they pick a different color. So there's the Thor book laid out. How exciting. It is really, really cool. There's the red, the orange Millie. We have green Hulk, which is appropriate. Beautiful. So there's the Hulk story. And they're a little hokey, but that's okay. You know, these were going to kids. And you could also buy them direct through Marvel Mania. You know, direct through Marvel, you could buy these. So I think a lot of collectors bought them that way. But this guy that I bought from, he said they came out of gumball machines, his. And so I think that's really neat. So the author of this book is Mark Evanier, and the photographer is Jeff Spear. And then they give some acknowledgments, and probably the guy that I bought that one Millie book from is listed in here. But I'll read it and I'll report back if there's any interesting stuff. But right now, it is a true blessed day. My van didn't cost me $1,200, or it did cost me $1,100. It didn't cost me $12,000. So that's beautiful. Ran my first half marathon today since my Olander run, which was back on Labor Day when I ran, turned out to be 97 miles I did in 24 hours. And so that was good. And then these things arrived, which I didn't know if they'd arrive. And Dr. Venchilla got me to open this, which I'm really excited about. And frankly, I'm going to take these home and let the kids read them because it is really something special. So thanks again to J Boxer for that gift. That was a beautiful AOK quite a while ago, and it's just been sitting here, and I've been wanting to open it anyway. So thanks again for that, guys. Thanks for being part of the channel tonight. I really appreciate it. 50 minutes in, I thought it was going to be a real short video, but things work out the way they work out. Yeah, Alex, this is a set that's available. You get the 6 books in the 6 different colors, and then you get the history of it. And I think Jay Boxer said he found it on Amazon, but that's the details on it. So you could probably have it ordered into your local comic store or wherever. But really a spectacular gift for someone crazy like me who loves this unique stuff. You get to learn a little bit more about comic history, and that's what ties us all together, I guess. So that's that. Next video, I will be talking about a really awesome little haul I had. I'm looking for something right now. I have a friend locally, I call him Pulp Paul, and last summer, a friend of mine went to a garage sale, and this guy Paul was selling all these pulps, and I don't generally get into pulps, but I bought a whole bunch of classic illustrated first print, beautiful books from him. Well, this, like a month ago, I had a previous guy that I had bought comics from, came here, sold me some pulps, which I'm looking for. I don't even see them anywhere. Hold on, guys. I know I got them. I know they're somewhere in here. Well, anyway, I got some pulps to show off at some point and some other cool stuff. But you know what? I'll show one more thing because Alex is in here, and he's a pulp guy. He likes the art. So let me show one more thing that's really unique. These, I've got 2 pulps. This one, I'll do a Bubs shout out. Okay. So we've got the classic Lady in Red cover. All right, beautiful. I think this is the one. This was a gift from my friend Pulp Paul, and it's really, really a unique pulp. This is December of 1950, Volume 1, Number 2 of Out of This World. But what made this so wildly unique is that it had, and as you know, pulps are generally black and white, and it's mostly writing in it. But as luck would have it, this has a comic book inside of it, which is very, very rare. I think there's only 1 or 2 instances, and he might have given me 2 of these that have a comic book inside of them. So it makes it very rare, Alex, as a pulp. This is Kenton of the Star Patrol, and it has a full-color comic book right there inside the pulp. And this is kind of tricky to show this, but I thought you might be excited about that, because I know Alex is a fan of pulps sometimes, at least the the covers on them, which I love the covers. I can't argue with that. They are beautiful, but it's just a really, really unique thing. So that was a gift from my good friend Pulp Paul. See, and there's a they must have been saying this is Crom in the Spider God of Akka. Okay, and there's the Lady in Red right there. So cool stuff. And he hooked me up with some other things. Again, I'll talk about these at some point in the future. Just some cool stuff. You know what? I'll show you these 2, which are so rare. We talk about horror comics sometimes. See, I was getting off the channel, and now I'm still on here. Hey, we got Johnny in here. Nice to see you, Johnny. This is a first print of Classics Illustrated. Originally was called Classic Comics. Well, this is the Hunchback of Notre Dame, the original cover, which, because of the whole Seduction of the Innocent stuff, they had to change this for the second printing. So it's wildly, wildly rare, and this one's in really, really nice shape. I don't know what grade it would get, but it's pretty darn nice. And so that's real rare. That's a recent pickup. And then the last book I'll show, and then I'm moving on. This is Classic Comics number 8, Arabian Nights. Okay, which again was a really cool book for 10 cents, and they changed this cover. And there were actually 2 versions of this. This one is the Island Publishing version. So so it's a pretty special one to have, and I'm really just grateful to my buddy Paul to sell me those. We actually did some trading, but just happy to have them. So guys, that's it. I'm gonna move along. I'm sure there's great stuff, and lots of fun stuff on YouTube tonight. So I've taken a lot of your time. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll show Notre Dame again, and I thank you, Mastodon. You're the last one in. I really appreciate you, buddy. My friend David worked for Steranko in the early '90s in Reading, Pennsylvania, and he spent months touching up Jim's legendary pulp collection with watercolor pencils per Steranko's directive. That's beautiful. I'm sure I've showed you this before, Dr. Von Chill, but I have Steranko's original Foom kit, which it's perfect condition. These never hit the mail because he just picked them up from Marvel. But I have his original complete Foom kit. I have the original poster, which he signed. I've got this. I've got all the stickers. All that stuff came with it. And then I've got his original set. I'm not going to pull them all out because I don't want to damage them. But mint condition, full set of Foom posters. These were actually Steranko's. And I know, Dr. Von Chili, you could take me right to Steranko's house because he's right there. And I always love hearing that name. And if you don't know a lot about Steranko, look at Sergeant Fury, because Steranko changed everything. Sergeant Fury used to be this guy in a suit, and then all of a sudden he became really cool when Steranko got his hands on him. Okay, so now, with that being said, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to thank you guys, and I'm going to wish you the best. And if there's any lesson I want you to take away, is dealing with difficult situations. They don't all go your way. Like today was a $1,200 lesson I didn't want, but sometimes, you know, bad things happen and you got to roll with them. And then usually there's going to be a rainbow after the rain, right after the storm. So life's good. Really appreciate you guys. And that's it. I got to get out of here. Mastodon, I'm going to keep this going for a little bit. Dr. Von Chilla he like knows the house. So I think that's what is happening. You can take it right to his house, right to the front door. So you know what? If I ever get to Pennsylvania, maybe I'll roll up there, and you know, he'll probably yell at me for coming up to his front door. But if I bring something cool, maybe he'd let me stay a little bit. Maybe gifts will get us in the door, Dr. Von Chilla. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Linkovich, first one in here, your last comment on here. I so appreciate you. Guys, we have the best hobby on the planet. I'm thinking of you, and I appreciate you. Silver Age Dave is out.